Yo, I'm Ed Woodstock, and this is Meditation 101. Hey, thanks for tuning into the Ed Woodstock YouTube channel. Today's video is about meditation, the basics. We're going to go over what it is, what it isn't. I'm going to offer a few basic guidelines, and don't forget to watch the whole video because we're going to do a guided meditation that you can use anywhere. But before we do that, let's drop in. And by drop in, I mean, let's share a few breaths. It's a great way to just get yourself grounded. So, if you want, you can put a hand over your belly. And what that does is it reminds us to breathe in by making the belly rise, using the diaphragm muscle. We want to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you can close your eyes if you want, but you don't have to, especially if you're driving a car. Ready? Inhale. Congratulations. You just completed a meditation. And notice how you feel. Notice how just taking a few conscious breaths can make us feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more in tune with ourselves. Maybe you feel a little greater oxygen flow and a little greater presence. Anyway, I want to talk about how I first got introduced to meditation. Back when I was a 17-year-old college kid, I had this crazy professor who introduced us to all these different world practices. And back then it seemed a little weird, but several years later I became a first responder. I was an FDNY firefighter in Brooklyn for many years. And our job was pretty much to show up to an extraordinary amount of stress and trauma on a regular basis. And meditation became a really great tool that I could use to regulate my nervous system and stay relaxed and calm in the face of very stressful situations. But you don't have to be a first responder. You could just be a human being that has to face stress sometimes, which we all do. So let me tell you a little bit about what meditation is not. It's not a religion. It's not an ideology or a belief system. It's really just an exercise. Sort of like doing a set of jumping jacks or push-ups. Meditation is also not turning off our thoughts and feelings. As a matter of fact, as you meditate, when thoughts and feelings arise, make friends with them. Even the uncomfortable ones. Even the ones that we try to avoid. If we can create space in our lives, not to numb and distract ourselves from our thoughts and emotions, but to consciously sit with the feelings, the thoughts, the emotions that course through our bodies. We can do some deep breathing to really help us process and integrate those emotions in a healthier way. What meditation is simply a mindfulness, an awareness. It's the development of the skill set of becoming aware and paying attention to what's going on right around us, right now. And not getting caught up in our monkey mind. The monkey mind is something I like to refer to as that part of our brains that just bounces around like a monkey from branch to branch, and sometimes we have no control and our thoughts can feel very wild and unruly. But when we sit down for meditation, we can actually focus on our breathing, allow some space for the monkey mind to bounce around, and when we find ourselves getting carried away with our thoughts, it's simply a matter of bringing our attention back to the breath and allowing the thoughts or emotions to pass through, sort of like clouds in the sky. Meditation is something that can also make us more present when we're doing anything. It could be chopping vegetables to prepare dinner, or washing the dishes, or doing homework with the kids. Whatever we do, being more mindful and present through the practice of meditation can just bring a greater presence and awareness to anything we do in our daily lives. I also like to think of meditation as a skill and an exercise for the mind. Sort of like spiritual training. But it's not just for the mind and the emotions. It's also for the body. Because by regulating our nervous system and relaxing our minds, our bodies are regulated at the same time. Because by consciously breathing, we shift ourselves out of the state of fight and flight and into the parasympathetic mode, where we're more relaxed. And that relaxation can just bring greater quality to our daily lives. All right, so how to start? It's simple to start meditating. You just have to decide that you want to start. And if you want to start, you're going to have to carve out a time and a place and a space to do that. You also want to carve out an amount of time. It can be as little as 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or up to 10, 20 minutes, an hour. But start with something smaller in the beginning, because you'll be much more capable of starting and maintaining a regular practice if you don't get overwhelmed in the beginning. So once you decide on the amount of time that you want to meditate, find a position that's comfortable for you. It doesn't have to be sitting upright in a lotus position on a mountaintop. It can just be a position where you can feel focused and ready to do some deep breathing. You also want to decide whether you want your meditation to be guided or unguided. Now, in the beginning, you can use a guided meditation like part of this video. But after you do it a few times, you can choose to do it unguided and just remember the prompts, which are really pretty basic. All right, so let's do a really simple guided meditation body scan. And what we want to do is the same thing as before. Find a comfortable sitting position. If you want, you can put your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your belly. And sometimes I find this helpful because the heart, the way that it pumps blood all day, every day, it serves us as a source of life and energetic connection to the world around us. And putting our hand over our belly button, well, that was where the umbilical cord connected us to our mother. And all the nutrients and nourishment we needed came through that place. So by simply touching our heart and our belly, it can just soothe us and make us feel a little more relaxed. And find a comfortable position, close your eyes, and what we're going to do is that deep breathing into the belly using the diaphragm like before. But what we're going to do is we're going to focus the mind's eye from the top of the head all the way down to the soles of the feet. And we're going to do a body scan while we're doing deep breathing. And what we're going to do is just kind of notice anything that comes up. It might be thoughts, it might be feelings, but it might also be some tension in the body. Okay? So close your eyes, put your hands in position, and simply breathe in through the nose. Starting at the top of the head, just slowly go down. The forehead, the eyes, the mouth, the throat, the chest, the belly, the pelvic area, the legs, the feet, back up from the feet to the legs, to the belly, to the arms. And simply notice if there's any tension in the body. Maybe there's tightness. Maybe there's tension. Maybe you notice some thoughts come up or a feeling. Return your attention back to the breath. Start again at the top and simply go down the eyes, the face, the throat, the chest, the arms and hands, the belly, the pelvis, the legs, the feet, the toes, and back up, the feet, the toes, the legs. And again, noticing any tension or stress in the body. Noticing any thoughts or emotions that come into the field of awareness. And when we notice these thoughts or feelings, we can offer some gentle presence and loving presence to that area that has a little tension. And we can also just return our focus back to the breath. And just pay attention now to notice what it feels like to simply have sat and taken a few deep conscious breaths, paying attention to your physiology, your physical state, any tension or stress in the body, any thoughts or emotions that arise. And when you take a little time out of your day to simply offer yourself a little space to be gentle with yourself, to take time to honor your emotional life, your inner world, you can process those emotions and thoughts and the stresses that come into our lives in a healthy way and integrate them into your world. Because when we don't do that, sometimes these thoughts and emotions can remain kind of stuck and resonate throughout us, creating chronic stress that can rise up again over and over. And by meditating and focusing and allowing space to process these emotions, we can integrate them and release them in a much healthier way for our mind, body, and soul. All right, so you finished your guided meditation and body scan, and you feel pretty confident that you can do this. Well, how do you continue this practice? Well, it's kind of simple. Just continue to show up for yourself. Continue to remind yourself that practicing self-care and taking time to have a healthy, regulated nervous system, to take time out of your life to process your thoughts and emotions in a healthy way, is a gift that you give to yourself and then you share it with other people. And so you can develop a disciplined practice by simply showing up, starting slow and steady, building up slowly over time, and then trying to bring that mindfulness to everything that you do in your world. All right, thanks for watching Meditation 101. And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications about more content on the Ed Woodstock YouTube channel. This will give you greater access to more spiritual training for wellness for your mind, body, and soul.